So greetings. We're going to do some more lettering, some new, well, not necessarily new. It's the same page I've been working on forever between the day job and the hour commute and all that. My time gets eaten up pretty quickly. So, and again, here we are with the excuses. But that being said, so one of the things that I do with this is I use an Ames lettering guide. And depending on whether or not the page I'm using non-photo blue pencil or regular number 2 pencil, that's what I use in here. And it's taped to keep the thing from moving around. So there's that. And that vague explanation of that leads us to the other thing here. The drawing gum. It's quite an interesting thing. It has its limitations, obviously. There's different brands have different levels of flow and different aptitudes, one could say. I use this because it's available. And it works. The faint blue allows me to know precisely where I've missed a spot. And where I need to add. So, that being said, we'll be on with it. One of the things about the fountain pen is it's kind of strange because while it works well, not all of the fountain pen nibs that you'll find will fit on a conventional holder. Some of them are kind of beholden to a certain brand of fountain pen, so you have to be very creative on how to fit the nib onto a holder or create a holder. I have modified some dowels and basically sticks. For the sake of applying a fountain pen nib to the process of drawing and or sketching and or writing. And should be looking all right. Yeah. The one thing to keep in mind with the fountain pen nib is because the backside of the pen is polished, the fluid, if it's ink or whatever it is, will shed itself down the length of the pen quite quickly. And one of the interesting things about this too is it's usually somewhat precious metal. The plating is, so it's not going to suffer the any kind of chemical, corrosion that might be found with inks. But it will easily get scratched. Well, not too terribly scratched, but they will last a lot better. There we go. We have our liquid mask, and we need a brush. There we go, an appropriate brush. And likewise, with this one right here, we're going to follow the same pattern. I think this is a different brush than what I was using yesterday, or in the previous video. Yeah, you can tell by the results. The other thing too about not using expensive or exotic materials is that if they fail or they break or they wear out or they suffer neglect and don't function as well as they should anymore, that they're not going to be that catastrophic to replace. That works better. And there we go. A thousand centuries may pass with the speed of a short few seconds, or a few moments will move as much as 1,000,000 years. Time is with no meaning or direction. Solar winds are my seasons, cosmic dust and pebbles scatter over me as snowflakes or raindrops, even while I have no memory of seasons at all, only ghosts. This is all the same as with this project, where you have these ladies going back and forth with their fun and games, because all of humanity has been eradicated from the universe. There's a villain in this story that succeeded in doing that because he classified the human entity, the human being, as a threat, and so he worked to annihilate them from the cosmos. And there's this doctor that has figured out a way to bring back human beings, and is slowly doing that, scouring the cosmos for tidbits of whatever human DNA he can find. So one thing I will note as I'm going to slowly wipe away the this liquid mask is that don't leave the liquid mask on. I made that mistake. I was distracted or something else, and I put a project page away with the liquid mask still on it. And yeah, after a period of time, it permanently adheres itself to the paper. Caused kind of a snafu, so to speak. So there. We have lettering. And with that, thank you for watching. Catch you next time.